So you click this video because you want to become a better artist in 2025, which is great. You already made the first step, which is watching this video, of course, over the already pretty interesting one that the YouTube algorithm was recommending to you. So today I'm going to be giving you a full Monday to Friday study plan that focuses on the core things you need to master if you really want to level up your art. So whether you're a beginner artist who is just starting out, or maybe you're struggling with art block, or you're just overall tired of not improving, this study plan will definitely get you on track. So I want to start off by saying I've covered this video in a more longer, detailed version in the past, and this is pretty much just a summarized version for anybody who can't be bothered to watch a whole 1 hour video. But if you perhaps want that 1 hour video to get more detailed explanation about each topic I mentioned in today's video, then be sure to check that video out, first link below in the description. Alright, so enough talk, let's hop in. Alright, so Monday, we'll be starting off very simply with shapes. 1. How to identify shapes in real life as well as reference. 2. The different shapes we can use to construct anything we want, even from imagination. That's right, for all you artists out there who aim to draw from imagination, understanding shapes is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Shapes are literally the building blocks to everything we see. So it's important that we know how to see the things we observe in the simplest way possible. If you're someone who is aspiring to draw characters, people, or environments, then you have to get good at breaking things down into simple shapes. So you can start off simple by grabbing a reference photo from Pinterest, or maybe you snap a photo yourself. It really doesn't matter whatever the heck you get the photo from. And you can draw over that reference to identify the shapes you see, and as time goes on, you become more consistent and your skills will sharpen, and you will start to notice yourself not needing to use reference as much and be able to construct whatever you want more easily. Think of it as starting off with training wheels, and the better you get, the more you progress, the more you are ready to take them off and go full speed. Also, it's important to understand the different types of shapes: geometric shapes and organic shapes. Geometric shapes are things like cubes, cylinders, triangles. Organic shapes are wobbly, natural shapes like leaves, the clouds in the sky, the muscles on the human body. This sweater that I'm wearing, for example, like when I put the hoodie up and I do this, you can clearly see the shape that's behind me, and that's pretty much an organic shape. Both are super important, especially when you want to start to draw anything. If you want to hear me blabber on and on about shapes, then be sure to check out this video up in the top right corner of the screen. I talked about shapes and its importance in pretty much drawing anything. Alternatively, there will be a playlist at the end of this video that compiles all of my art breakdown videos, so watch the end for that. Also, if you really want to level up even faster, we're currently doing a drawing challenge over in our Discord server, which I think a lot of you would be interested in. So check out the server linked right below in the description as well. Alright, so Tuesday rolled around. You just spent Monday practicing some shapes and you're itching to actually draw something. But at the same time, you probably don't feel as if you're ready to tackle a finished piece just yet. Maybe you feel a bit of fear or anxiety as it relates to your drawing skills. So what do you do to beat that fear or anxiety? Well, you pack your bags and you quit art forever and never look back. You accept what your parents told you was true and you'll never be a successful artist. Yep. That's it. Or is it? Obviously, that's not what you will do. So don't go into the comments and start saying, "Oh, Marky, you're right. I quit. I'll never be a good artist. Oh no." If you're a quitter, then you're on the wrong channel, man, because we don't have quitters over here in the creative army. We only have winners. And as long as you don't quit, you're already winning. Never forget that. You see, the truth is, the way you feel is normal, especially if you are a beginner. It's completely fine to be a bit scared at the fact that your artistic ability might not be up to par with the vision you have in your head. It happens to all of us, really. What you need is confidence. And the best way to build confidence is to take the small wins before the big ones. That's where gesture drawing comes in. Gesture drawing is the best way you can allow yourself to grow your skills without having to fully commit hours and hours of your time to make a finished piece, to only then be disappointed by the result. Instead, gesture drawing is quick, loose, and low pressure, because you're not aiming for perfect anatomy or a beautiful finished piece. You're practicing motion and flow. The best part, because it's fast, you can experiment like crazy and mess up a ton and still come out better with every session. I personally like to use gesture drawing as warm-ups for the day, especially when I just got up and I just got to my desk. It really helps get my brain going. If you want to hear me talk more in depth about gesture drawing, then check out the video popping up the top right corner of your screen. Alternatively, again, because I might be recommending a lot of videos in this video, just wait for the playlist at the end of this video. Alright, so we made it to Wednesday. I want to say, if you made it this far into the video, thanks for liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot when you guys show your support. It really just, helps me keep on making these videos, and it just means a lot to me. So thank you. So Wednesday's focus is all about observation. Now, to some of you, Wednesday pretty much sounds like a break day, and you're kind of right. But at the same time, observation is one of the most important skills to sharpen if you want to get your art to the next level. What most beginner artists don't understand is that we as artists pull inspiration from everywhere and everything. The big stuff, the tiny stuff, the weird stuff, that's where the magic is. Life is our inspiration. The things we see on a day-to-day basis helps us to feel inspired. You ever wondered how some artists make their work come across so much more believable than others? It's because those artists observe fine details of their subject that others might just overlook, and those fine details can add that extra level of believability. Take Michelangelo for example. Notice all the fine, intricate details in his sculptures. All those fine details are what allowed him to be in a category of his own, above so many other sculptors of his time. You think he just added those details off the top of his head? No. He observed meticulously every fine detail of his subject, every wrinkle, every muscle, every vein, everything. Stuff that can be so easily overlooked but yet adds such believability to his work. You can even notice observation skills being used in some of our favorite anime. Take the scene from Wedding With You for example. Look at how characters move so fluid and real as if they were real people. Look at the rain and how it interacts in the world, the food and how it's prepared and how much detail it has. You think the anime just came up with all of this out of thin air? No, they had to meticulously observe their reference. And truth be told, you don't even have to draw today if you don't want to, just as long as you take the time out to observe the world around you. And I know some of you might think you absolutely have to draw today, which is fine. Be my guest, I completely understand. But you don't need to stay cooped up in your room drawing today at least. Maybe today is the day you grab your sketchbook, or maybe you grab your mobile drawing tablet if you have one, and go outside somewhere and observe the things around you, because after all, life is our greatest inspiration, as I said earlier. And it's very important we connect with it from time to time to recharge ourselves. Just don't stare at people for too long, because it might come across as a bit creepy. Also, if you hear the birds chirping in the background, I completely apologize. I'm recording at evening time and the birds typically come out and make a lot of noise, so I'm sorry if you hear them chirping. I'll try my best to reduce them. Once again, if you want to hear me talk more about observation, then check out
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Alright, I know. End of the video, playlist, you get the point. Next topic. Alright, so Thursday might be the day that a lot of us fear the most, simply because of how crucial it is to becoming an outstanding artist. Alright, so Thursday we'll be focusing on basic anatomy. Oh no, anatomy's scary. Oh! Stop. Alright, hear me out. This one I'll admit can be a bit daunting, but it's important to take it step by step. Work your way up and work at a pace you can handle. Basic anatomy is really all you need to become a good character artist. You don't necessarily need all the fine details unless you plan to make your work overly detailed in the first place. How I tackled learning and understanding basic human anatomy is that I tackled each individual part that gives me a problem in isolation. Say that I'm currently struggling with faces. I can't figure out how the planes of the face work or how the nose looks. So I would simply just stop and look up the anatomy for the face. We live in a time where everything's on the internet, so it's so much easier now to find references and breakdown videos and all those cool things. So I'll look up the anatomy of the face for artists. That for artists part is kind of important because it can give you a completely different result if you search without it. So always make sure to do a for artists search so you get like the more focused references for whatever you're looking for. So I would isolate that specific problem and get to work on the components needed to make a good drawing of it, by doing things like understanding the skull, how the eyeballs line their sockets, the proportions of the face, how each part looks in contrast to each other. Marky, I struggle with everything. I don't know any anatomy at all. Oh no! Well, to that I say, shut the hell up and pick a struggle, dude. You won't get anywhere if you don't start somewhere. If you struggle with everything, then you can't be here crying and not working. Start isolating the parts you need to learn the most, or the parts that give you the most issues. If you need somewhere to start, then I recommend starting with the torso. Why? Because the torso is mainly filled with large components, and the larger components are easier to identify than the smaller ones. Especially if you are someone who was practicing shapes and observation it will be so much easier for you to understand and identify the core parts of the torso. The square shape that builds up the chest, or maybe the circles that I use for the shoulders. Come on, man, I'm putting you guys on game. Get better at art in 2025. Also, no video recommendation for today, but be on the lookout. We're making one soon, so turn on that post notification bell. Alright, Big Friday. You just finished suffering all week. Today is the day to finally take a break. Because burnout is real, ladies and gentlemen, and you really don't want to push yourself to that limit, because everything you make at that point will be subpar, ugly, and just flat out disgusting. And that will just help you to feel less confident about yourself and your work. So as much as I know some of us are workaholics and we can't take a break even if it means saving our own lives, just please, for today, especially after you just finished practicing anatomy so intensely the day before, you deserve this. Also, for you, yes you, my friend who made this far into the video, those damn birds. I've put a secret PDF at the bottom of the description, piles pretty much all the major talking points of this video, pretty much all the major topics and the stuff that you need to look into when you're focused on a study plan, as well as my recommended time stamps. So that's for you guys who made it to this point in the video, you know, just showing my appreciation to you guys. So check it out right at the bottom of the description. That's pretty much it. The first 5 days are absolutely crucial in my opinion if you want to start leveling up your art skills. These are fundamentals. Even if you're already a seasoned artist, you can always fall back on if you need to fine-tune your skills. The last 2 days are just added bonuses, but truthfully you can do whatever the heck you want with them, because this is your study plan after all. I've compiled it truly for you. If you're a beginner artist or just someone who needs a little bit of refinement, I always find myself falling back on these tactics, so I just figured as much that, hey, it'll be very good for you too. And trust me, if you repeat this study plan perhaps twice a week, every month, you will surely see big time art gains. Just don't stress and do your best. So don't forget to check out the long version if you want more details, and check out the playlist somewhere on the screen at the end of this video. It has all the breakdown videos I've done so far. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing to this channel. It really means a lot to me. And with that being done and said, as always, happy drawing. I'm watching you from afar, and I'm rooting for you. Peace. Damn, these birds, brother, these birds.